Hey friends, happy Tuesday. Hope all of you are having a great summer. As you know, summer is coming to a close quite soon. For some of you, you literally got a couple weeks left till your kids go back to school. For others, you have the whole month to enjoy yet for summer. But anyways, no matter how you put it, fall is right around the corner, which means student ministries is going to get back into that weekly rhythm here soon, and school is going to get back in session, and it also means football and all the fun things that come with fall, which I love fall season. I hope you do too. But I want to talk a little bit about student ministries. As you know, we have three big end of the year summer events we do to kind of get students back into a little bit of a rhythm before we do our kickoff. And those events start August 16th and the next 2 weeks after. August 16th is our backyard barbecue, and it's followed by our color wars and water wars. And so these are amazing events to bring our students back in, to get them in to our space on consecutive weeks in a row, to just get them used to that rhythm and get them ready for our fall kickoff. And so leaders, I would love for you to come. I would love for you to invite the students back into our space to start getting them ready. And also, these events are fun and they're great outreach events. So encourage all of you to be here and encourage you to invite our students. Now, for the backyard barbecue, I will not be here. I'll be out of town, but I have Allie kind of running the logistics with the backyard barbecue, with also Chris Freshour, who will be on the grill running all the food. And so I just want to give a shout out to you two for stepping up and doing that. Other leaders, if you're coming, please help them out as much as possible. Work as a team, and I know it's going to go well. So these are great events, and they're always a blast. And so I hope you have fun at the backyard barbecue, because I will not be there for that night. But I'll be at all the other ones moving forward. So thank you in advance for all those who are going to kick off our end of the year summer events with the backyard barbecue. Next up is, as you know, I shared a little bit in my last video, we are diving into a new curriculum. And so for group leaders, this really affects you the most, and it affects me because the teaching's a little different. It's still really good. But basically, I wanted to do a little bit more, I want to say deeper. I want to say I would use that word, but a little bit more in depth in breaking down the scripture. I think it's so important. I think what I've noticed more than ever in the younger generation is they don't really know scripture very well, and sometimes, and a lot of times, I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying I feel like the majority, from what I hear, they have a lot of basic questions, and that's okay. But I really want to make sure as a student ministries, we are doing a good job at helping them understand scripture more in context and background. Now, it's not all that. Obviously, there are themes, there are topics that we're diving into. But when you dive into those themes and topics that we'll get into this year in the curriculum, it really dives into the verse to make it clear about what's happening in the verse and how it applies to what we're talking about, which I think is super helpful. And I think Orange does a good job at topics, and I think they do a phenomenal job on production side too. But I just felt like it was very surface level, in my opinion, and not so much equipping and really teaching. I think it was more great curriculum to start a discussion, but not exactly kind of get to below the surface where I think students really want to get to. I think they really want to get to some tough questions, and I really do think this curriculum will help. I did not make this decision because I think it's going to grow the ministry. That is not why. My goal is to help equip and train students to be disciples of Jesus, and I just think that this curriculum kind of points them more in that direction. And so we're going to see how it goes. And I'm not saying I'm married to it. I just think this is a great opportunity to try something new. But with that being said, in the new curriculum we're diving into, and some changes with high school too, which I'll get to in a minute, the curriculum gave me a nice tool where I could create a year calendar. Now, it is thick and it's a lot of pages because it's literally from, I believe, September to June, okay? And so right here, I have all the big events, I believe, in the church, in students, in our milestones, all in this right here. And so you will know ahead of time from day one when Trunk or Treat is, and obviously we're not having student night on Trunk or Treat. You will know the series and the kind of the title of each Wednesday night's topic is all in here. It gives you a breakdown of the milestones, so when the milestones are happening in this packet. It will tell you when Christmas break is, when spring break is. All those things are in here for student ministries, okay? And so I think it's very helpful. It's very helpful for me to keep it all straight in my head, and I don't need to have it in my head anymore because I have it right here. So all you leaders, all the way from, doesn't matter, from check-in to group leaders to grill team, you are all going to get one of these. It's simple, but yet very helpful. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. It kind of has this breakdown here. So right here is the series we will be in. It's called Better Together in September. And here's kind of the study ministry strategy. So here's kind of the strategy the curriculum uses. And it's really very similar to already what we embrace here at Crossroads Church in the Next Gen department. So this is very, very close to what we already do. So it's not much change in there. Now you'll see here, I have the weeks broken down. So there's week 1, right? There's student ministry kickoff, okay? And there is technically a message at night, but obviously it'll be more of an introduction night, so we won't get super deep. But anyways, it just breaks down all those things in there, okay? And I'm going to take you to another one just to kind of show you another example. So October's the next month, and as you'll see, Trunk or Treat is on here. So right here, week 4, no student night because Trunk or Treat. So all that is on here. And also something we added this year, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it's a great outreach opportunity throughout the year, and to really for students to flex that muscle to invite their friends into our community. Is they're called 5th week of the month hangouts, and our first one is going to be in November. So whenever we come across a month during the school year, when we're in our weekly rhythm in student ministries, the 5th week of those months, we're actually not going to exactly have a student night, but we're going to go out as a community and go do an activity together. So in November, right now I have listed the 5th week of the month hangout is November 29th, and boom, you'll see what we're doing. It looks like we're bowling. So great opportunity to get students out there to invite their friends who normally wouldn't step into our space. And that's kind of one of the big reasons why we're doing these is, one, to build relationships and have fun with our students, but also for the students to have an opportunity to invite friends who would never step into a church, which is so important. So I think it's going to be a great ad. I think they used to do something quite similar way back in the day here in our student ministry. So I'm looking forward to implementing that again. So anyways, these calendars you will be getting, and I think it's going to be helpful. So it's our first year doing it, and I plan on to add more as years go on to this calendar. But I think this is a great start, and it will help you out significantly. All right. Number 2, I've already talked a little bit about the high school changes. I know this video is going to go a little long, but there's a lot to talk about. But as we enter into the fall, we will be doing a rotation and splitting up our middle school and high school, okay? And I met with the high school team this summer. Most of you, if you watched my video back back in July, early July, I talked about the change. But basically, we're trying to create an engaging environment for high school students, but also an environment where they feel challenged and feel like it's a space for them to really grow and learn. And meeting with the high school team, we came down really to a few things. Number 1 is when it comes to the large group programming, they said it felt really geared towards middle schoolers, which I can't really deny because most of the games we played during large group, it was middle school heavy. We mostly got middle school volunteers to play games and stuff like that. And the reason why that is, number 1, is because naturally the middle school base is just bigger. Okay, high school is not that big. So we're trying to figure out ways, how can we challenge and yet create a space for high schoolers to be in. And so a few things that we are changing is we're doing a rotation. So let's say middle schoolers will be with me first and like large group, okay? Well, when we tried this last year for the first week, but there weren't certain things in place, but I think this year we're going to be in a much better position to do this. But anyways, middle school will be with me in a large group setting, and they'll get a message, a pretty standard message like we would always do last year, okay? So nothing's really changing much for middle schoolers and leaders, except the curriculum, which I'll get to another video. I'll train you on kind of what that outline looks like. But anyways, typical large group message, and then you'll move to groups. When you move to groups, or when you're in large group, high schoolers are in groups. Now the thing is that's different about high school groups is their leader is going to find out like what is something that their high schoolers are going through, or a topic that they're really interested in, and depending on what they land on and agree on as a group, they will actually dive into a very specific study that focuses on growing your faith, or how to get rid of anxiety, or the challenges with anxiety, or how to minister and share the gospel with our friends. So they're going to get into very specific topics, and each group is going to have a different type of study, but they will dive into an in-depth study with their students in group time. Okay, now middle schoolers, you guys will rotate out. Middle school leaders, you'll rotate out to groups. When you rotate out to groups, you're going to do the standard thing like last year. You're going to dive into curriculum and questions that are already planned for you based on the message. Now, when high schoolers come into this space, it's going to be more of a discussion. Okay, I think high schoolers are ready to have more of a back and forth discussion and training, if you will. It won't be so much messages, and messages are great. I mean, it will have a message in it for sure, but high schoolers are going to get more of the equipping side of things. It's going to be more of back and forth, me asking a question and them answering. And so it's going to look a little different, and what we're hoping is it becomes a lot more engaging for those high schoolers that are looking more for a challenge and looking for a more in-depth discussion on the topics we are going to discuss on. Okay, so that's a little bit of just what we're doing as we head into the fall. Another thing is Cody and the worship team. They are diving into worship. There will be worship the first night, September 13th, and I believe we're going to try to start off with, I believe, an every other week rhythm of worship. And so worship's going to slowly pick up, and the goal is as we get comfortable and as we find a rhythm with worship, we eventually integrate into trying to have something of worship every single week, which is a goal of mine, and I know for a lot of you parents out there, it was a goal for you to really get that back in every week. So we're working on that, and we're getting closer to that goal. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyways, that's all I got for the overall picture of kind of going to the fall, and I wanted to share the calendar with you. But group leaders, you're going to get a separate video on just the group leader guide with this new curriculum, just to get you familiar and to get it in front of you before you actually dive into the school year. And so everybody else, thank you so much for all you do. Check-in team, you're getting new student bags, and I think some of you have seen them. They're pretty cool. I like them. They're almost like a packaging bag, but I like them because they're cheap, they're affordable, they show our branding on it, which is really cool, and they're very easy to store wet. So I like the bags, and also the students, the new students that'll be coming in, they'll get the new student or the new Crossroads Students t-shirt in their bag. So check-in team, that's something for you to look forward to. And everybody else, the grill team, I think you guys are organized and ready. I'm gonna have everything cleaned and ready to go. And I think Michelle and Steve just meet with you to talk about inventory, what you want me to grab as we start the year off. But environment team, you guys keep doing what you're doing. Nothing much is changing there. I guess for the grill team, there is one change I should mention real quick, is that we will technically be opening doors now at 6:45. I think you were all already prepared and ready by 6:45. But we are actually going to encourage students to come earlier for the grill, like in the past. We tried the 7 o'clock, but I was pushing too much for time. So 6:45 is when we will actually be promoting doors are open, and you can get checked in and actually go to the grill. So that's the only change. But I think for the most part, you guys were pretty much ready by 6:45. But just know that we are starting 15 minutes earlier than what we did last year at the grill. So I believe that's all I got. Thank you so much, team. I'm really looking forward to this school year. I think it's great. I already have Spring Hill all squared away. Registration is live, and so you can go ahead, start getting students signed up. If you have a student, get them signed up for that. Leaders, it's time for you to get signed up for that. It's open to you as well, and so I can't wait. And just trying to get ahead of everything, trying to be more organized and to serve you guys the best I can. So y'all have a great day, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. There's a possibility I missed something, so please feel free to reach out, and I'll be seeing you all very soon.